Well, Jeff, Wednesday on a Tuesday here?
Yeah, it's a little different, no doubt. We're all creatures of habit. Whenever you change our schedule, especially football coaches, and change your routine, man, the only person that likes change is a baby, right? And that's when you change his diaper. The rest of us, we don't like it. We're getting it. We're figuring it out, though.
How do you assess the health and the state of your D-line group right now?
Like everybody else in the country, beat up and injured, and everybody's going through the same things we are, I'm sure.
What do you guys have to do defensively to make sure Middle Tennessee doesn't have some of that deep passing success that you saw against Miami?
They just ran right by Miami. They've got unbelievable speed. Those guys are 10-4, 10-5, 10-6 guys that have been playing a long time. They've been doing that system for a long time. Their quarterback came in the game last year and immediately led them down the field, 2 touchdowns when he got out there. He's been playing really well, and he played really good in that game against Miami.
With all the shuffling on the O-line, what's it meant to have the stability of Maka inside?
Yeah, it can't be. And Kevin beside him, and T. Haynes beside him. Those 3 have played really well, and it's sad because they haven't gotten probably the attention they deserve for how well they've been playing. But yeah, Maka has been a leader on this team for as long as I've been here, and just a really good football player and a good human being.
Is that what you need out of a center? Just the way he kind of leads the line, does line calls, sets everything up. Is that the type of guy you need to be successful up front?
Yeah, I mean, he's the quarterback up there, and him and Frank have a special relationship as well. So, I'm really grateful for him, and I've never taken him for granted. I know how special those guys are. It's just like baseball. It's always in the middle, right? Catcher, pitcher, shortstop, center fielder. You need to be solid up the middle. And football's the same way. You better have a really good nose guard. You better have a really good center.
Jeff, I think yesterday you jokingly said you guys started the Middle Tennessee's quarterback's career. What can you say about kind of his skill set and what he does good?
Yeah, I meant that in the most complimentary way as possible. I mean, as soon as he came in the game, he let him right down the field, and 2 touchdowns, and we ended up having to put our ones back out there, and he's just taking off from there. I meant that in nothing but the kindest way when I said that.
Jeff, 2-0 Inspired announced a bunch of new NIL contracts yesterday. What did it mean for you and for the program to see that?
Yeah, it shows you how lucky we are to coach in a place like San Antonio that has boosters that carry like that. Martin and Salinas and April and Sarah and Pat Kleins have done stuff for this school long before I ever got here. This has nothing to do with Jeff Traylor. This is about UTSA and San Antonio. And, Eddie, with the Runners Rising. And there's so many other. We're going to have a big announcement next week. There's just so many boosters pouring into our kids. And that's what's neat about it. That's what the reason the rule was intended to me was this. It's just really good for our kids. They got to sign a contract. They got to learn about a W-2 and a 1099 and taxes and having to talk to boosters and having to, just those kind of things are good for young men. It's just speeding up their, learning curve. And there's so many things we all have said when we graduate from college, like, why didn't they teach us how to change our oil? Why didn't they teach us how to change a tire? Why didn't they teach us about taxes? Why didn't they teach? And I'm sure they did somewhere in there. We probably weren't listening. But when you're getting real money in your pocket and somebody's talking to you about it and how to keep it, I bet you listen. Real life experiences are always better than just the classroom. And that's why I'm excited. It's an opportunity for boosters to get to know our kids to know them, and us to give back and serve in the community.
How does the rise of those collectives sort of impact your assessment of where UTSA stands relative to other schools in the American when it comes to that sort of opportunity?
I'm not sure. I'm just like y'all. I follow Twitter and see what everybody else is putting out, and I know that it matters. It does matter, and I've told y'all this. I'm very committed. One, the rules say you're not supposed to be enticing recruits. That stops that there. But it does seem common sense-wise you try to take care of your own roster before you're out there taking care of everybody else. So I'm glad to see some guys that help, win a conference championship and put us on the map, so to speak, or just getting some money for their phone bill and some money for their little gas money and their car.
Do you get the sense that the players here are happy with the opportunities available, or is there a need to keep growing that for this group to be content?
Well, I know that we don't have all 112 taken care of. I mean, I don't know that factually. I watch Twitter just like y'all do, and I see which one of my kids are tweeting and posting and retweeting, and I hear them talk in the locker room. And, you know, obviously you'd like to get to a point where, you know, everybody on the team is getting something to help. And it's going to all come down to, one, we got to keep putting good football on the field, and two, a humble spirit, being grateful, and going to serve your community. There's just people that love football, and they love what the game's about and how it teaches life. And we all have a certain kid we might be wanting to help, and we've got every kind to choose from on this team. I can promise you.
Jeff, from a X's and O's standpoint, what do you guys got to do this week to be successful?
We got to be way more gap sound than we were Saturday. We cannot bust coverages again. That was just so disappointing because we had played really clean, the week before, and we had been getting better. We took a step back, and then offensively we just, I give Texas Southern a lot of credit. I hate to not give them credit because their kids played really hard, and they coached too. But we did not execute the run game. Our goal was to rush for 250. We rushed for about 120. And even more than that, I've shared this with y'all, that the defense dictates to us how we're going to play the game. And they dictated that we're going to throw the ball by the way they played. It's when everybody in the building knows you need to run it, and you can't run it, that just bothers me. Red zone, 3rd and short. I don't know this, but I would imagine y'all are probably up there going, why in the heck are we throwing the ball so much on 4th down and 1? And we haven't felt confident in running it yet. And we thought we were getting there and took a step backwards.
Is that an old school, I asked this preseason, do you get too pass happy, but is that just the way college football is more, that you don't have to pound the rock maybe as much as you used to?
Well, it's just, it's the world we're in now, and I believe in it. It's who I am as a head coach. I want the head coach to be the quarterback. I want him to be the one that gets to, because if you're watching the game, we check a play, they check a play, and it's so. If Frank's out there and he gets to decide what to do, they don't get to check it. So we're getting us into good plays. There is a time in the game where you can't RPO, meaning run, pass, option. And I get it because everybody likes to say it's more of a PRO. It's a pass, run, option. But Frank gives it when it's time. He's really good about doing that. I'm more talking about, because I'm never going to apologize for throwing the ball too much to J.T. Clark, Zachary Franklin, Josh Cephas. So that's just something y'all can just stay upset about if you don't like that. I don't know if you do or you don't. But when it's time to run the ball, and everybody knows you're going to run the ball, we got to be able to do that. 4-minute offense, red zone, coming out, 3rd and short. We all know. We've all watched ball enough. And as a head coach, you've got to decide when you can't. And that's when you got to do some other plays, which we've done this year and not been successful.
How much has not having Trey Smith the last few weeks?
I hate it because y'all haven't got to see how good of a back he is yet. I know how good he is. And I believe before the season's up, y'all going to really enjoy watching him run. I hate it for him because he's such a good young man. And I hate it for y'all because he's a really good back.
All right, Jeff, appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.